Good morning. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Kevin Hampton. I'm the Executive Director of Communications for Ferguson-Florissant School District. We appreciate all of you who have come out today to express support for the district, for the board, and for Dr. Davis. Behind us we have district administrators, we have principals from across the district, we have parents, we have elected officials from our community, we have other community leaders, we have clergy, a great representation of the people who make up this district, other partners who have joined with us as we work to serve students. We were all surprised by the events back in August because we knew the accusations and speculation did not match the character of the man we know. We believe that it's important to share the facts in order to restore trust in Dr. Davis and in the board and in the district. And so this morning you'll hear from the President of the Board of Education, Rob Chabot, and then you'll hear from our Superintendent, Dr. Davis. And following that, Dr. Davis and Mr. Chabot and I will be available for questions for any of you who so choose. But thank you again for joining us today.
So good morning, and thank you for joining us today. On behalf of the Ferguson-Florissant School District's Board of Education, I am pleased to share the following statement. Yesterday, the Board of Education received word from Dr. Davis's attorney from North Carolina that all charges against Dr. Davis have been dismissed, and he is innocent of any willful act or criminal wrongdoing. Based on the information we have received, the Ferguson-Florissant School District's Board of Education fully supports and trusts Dr. Davis, and as he resumes his leadership of the district. We are confident in Dr. Davis's ability, his passion, and desire to see all students in the district experience a high-quality education. We look forward to putting this incident behind us and hope our community will join us in focusing on the future for the sake of our students. So at this time, I'd like to invite Dr. Davis to the podium.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you. I'm grateful for this day, grateful to God through Jesus Christ, my wife, my son, and my family, and to many of those who supported me through this entire ordeal. I want to publicly acknowledge the Ferguson-Florissant School Board, each member, Rob Chabot, Dr. Courtney Graves, Dr. Thurman, Leslie Hogshead, Scott Ebert, Connie Harge, and Jessica Ponder for their thoughtful approach that they took during this entire process. While they have been super supportive of me, they have kept the focus on what is best for children, my son included. I also want to thank Attorney Paul DeGrossa and Attorney Cindy Ormsby and the many public officials you see here today, as well as parents, clergy, administrators, and many of the others who are here in support of me. So just a few details. In January of 2017, I was invited to keynote a Martin Luther King Day celebration on Sunday outside of Philadelphia. The trip was at no cost to the Ferguson-Florissant School District and was on a weekend involving no time away from work. I was being reimbursed for keynoting the event, and as always, I made reservations for a hotel and a car rental on Priceline.com, seeking to get the best price on a hotel and a car. I secured a hotel at $75 in downtown Philadelphia and a car for $20. With tax included, the total was $139.58. While securing the hotel and the car, which were two separate transactions, I logged onto my Priceline account and chose what I thought was my American Express card. I was unaware my former employer's Washington County Schools' card remained in my profile, having left the district in 2015. The last four digits of my personal American Express card is the same last four digits as Washington County Schools' American Express card, differing by only one digit. So when I clicked on what I thought was my card, the remaining information auto-populated from the stored information in my profile. These transactions took place in January of 2017. A North Carolina grand jury indicted me in May of 2017. I was neither aware of the indictment nor the reasons for my arrest until after I was released from St. Louis County on August 18, 2017. After being released on Friday, August 18th, I immediately contacted my attorney, Watsy Sutton in North Carolina, booked a flight that evening, and flew to North Carolina on Sunday, August 20th, and appeared before the court in Washington County on Monday, August 21st. Attorney Sutton completed a thorough investigation, gathering many details from Priceline.com, and uncovered the facts that regarding the transactions and clearly proved my innocence. A simple phone call by the finance officer in the district in Washington County, or anyone handling this case, would have resolved this matter quickly. Weeks ago, I gave Attorney Sutton the $139.58 to hold until the appropriate time to provide reimbursement. To briefly address the audit that was released in January of 2016, it was grossly inaccurate and incomplete. Every penny spent during my time as superintendent in Washington County schools was well documented. There was always prior approval and always receipts for every transaction that I did. And let me say clearly, no money was ever misspent. The audit was grossly inaccurate and incomplete. I was raised by my grandmother and my mother, and if they taught me anything, it was the value of hard work and doing the right thing. I have always lived by those values. I can assure you that I will be even more focused on moving our district forward and providing high-quality education for all children. I always want to be a good example to students and for them to know the importance of hard work. Each child deserves access to equity. All children deserve access to a great education and opportunities, giving each of them a fair chance at life. All children. And when I say all, I mean all. Again, thank you for this opportunity to provide these details, and I will gladly take a few questions.
Why is it that you think that the former school district didn't contact you when they learned about this transaction? I mean, we're talking a small amount of money, instead they went to the authorities about this instead of contacting you directly.
Yeah, that's a great question, and I asked that question myself so many times. A simple phone call would have solved all of this. I have no idea. I can't judge someone's motive, nor am I trying to. What I can tell you is that I have, during my time in Washington County and here, I've been very upfront with everybody about everything I've done. My board here can support it. In fact, my board president, former board president for Washington County Schools, called me this morning, and just to reiterate his support of me and the work that we did when I was in Washington County. So I have no idea, but what I can tell you is that I will be focused on, as I've always been, on children. I'm first generation college, and I can tell you that I know the value of a great education. And I think every child, black or white, Asian, Hispanic, biracial, it doesn't matter. All children deserve a quality education. And it's because of that I'm here today. So I can tell you I'll keep focusing on that.
Do you think what's happened here has damaged your credibility or ability to lead this district, number one? And number two, what's the toll then on you going through something like this? I mean, whether you're cleared or whether you're not,
Right.
it happens.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of curious, just emotionally what it's like, and then professionally, are you concerned about your ability to move forward in this district?
Well, I'm grateful for my board and the people you see here today. The board has, Ferguson, even with the audit, the FERC full board has been amazing at supporting me. They've listened to my side of the story, gotten details, and have made very thoughtful decisions about whether or not they would support me, and they have 100% done that, and I'm grateful for that. I worried about my career and worried about my reputation, but, I'm a man of faith through Jesus Christ, and I don't make any bones about that, and I put my trust in him. I can tell you that I hope that folks that are here, people in this community, will help me get this story out, and then, I live by what my grandma taught me, do the right thing, and I've done that, and I will continue to do that. I hope, as King said, that I will be judged by not the color of my skin, but by the content of my character. And I want us to judge not even judge, but handle all people like that. I'm sorry?
Emotionally, what has it been like?
My wife is my best friend, she knows more than anybody my walk, and but emotionally it's been a challenge. But I rest on my faith. I rest on handling people the right way. I could be angry, but I haven't gotten bitter. I've gotten better. And what doesn't kill you make you stronger, right? And I love children. I love giving them an opportunity, the ones that I had, and that's what I want. And I think it's important at this point and at this time in our country that it doesn't matter what color a child is. It doesn't matter what their zip code is. Every child deserves a quality education. And so emotionally, the toll is taken on me is that I want children who we work hard for every day to know that, I have integrity, I've done the right thing. Sometimes people, have bad motives, and you can't judge other people. You just have to do the right thing. And so it's been a challenge, I can tell you that. But I want to get back to the work. I'm in schools, and folks here in this community can tell you, I'm in schools all the time, intentionally, because I'm a teacher at heart. And I want to be in there supporting teachers, supporting principals, so we can do the right work for children. And so I want them to get this message, and want them to know how much I care and love them and want the best for them. And so that's what's given me strength throughout this entire process.
And what is your message to the parents of the district?
Yeah, and there are parents that are here today, and thank you for that question. My message to them is thank you for your support. Let's continue coming together, doing the right thing for children. Because it is so critical. I want people in this community to trust me, to trust our work. We have a great leadership team, and to trust what we're doing for children. And so that's the message that I would have for them.
How do you think this has affected students or staff in your district, and then, going forward, is there going to be a few changes, as far as, y'all, talk about, like you said, your integrity and things like that? Is that going to be promoted within the district even more?
Yeah.
Because of this?
Yeah, well, I can tell you it's not about me. And I won't ever make it about me. It's about children. And the work we do has to be about what's going on in that core, what teachers are doing, what students are doing, and what's happening with content. That's where my focus will always be. Certainly no district, no person wants this kind of attention brought to them. I never would have. Had I known any of this, I would have taken care of it before any of this could have happened. I don't want to bring any shame on our district or the work we're doing, right? Like, that's critically important. I can tell you going forward that I will be even more focused on what's going on in our classrooms and giving teachers the help they need. I think what we have to do as a country is to begin having many conversations, one about race and prejudices, because I think that's important, but more about how important teachers are. I'm here because of great teachers. And what we have to do is make sure teachers have the support they need, the tools they need, so children can get educated. I had teachers who educated me well, first generation college, but because of teachers that are black and white, all races, who educated me well, that I can stand here. And that's what I want to give to every child, and that's going forward what we'll continue to do, and squared at this point.
For 2 months, Ferguson-Florissant didn't have a superintendent basically because of this charge. People still paid taxes, the school year got off to a start. How does that not leave the administration of Ferguson-Florissant upset about what happened with the folks in North Carolina when they were deprived of their superintendent, where the kids went back to school without a superintendent, where Ferguson-Florissant taxpayers paid taxes that they got no service for?
Right. Yeah. I apologize for all of that. Taxpayers ought to ask questions all the time. What I can tell you is that Larry LaRue is a superintendent. He stepped up. And he has always been right beside me doing this work. We have a great leadership team that are around me right now. I worry because I don't know if they need me as much as I thought they did. But they stepped up and have done a yeoman's job and will continue to do that because that's who they are. But just to your point about taxpayers, I always bring this to the attention of our team, our principals. In fact, all administrators meeting this summer at the Federal Reserve Bank, we had a conversation specifically about how we spend our dollars. And taxpayers here or wherever I work or wherever I've been, they ought to ask questions, right? They ought to know how tax dollars are being spent. We ought to be transparent. We have nothing to hide. I've never had anything to hide. In fact, I invite people to have questions. But what I invite more is get all the facts, right? Don't just give a half story. Tell all the facts. And then come away with an assessment. And I'm so fine with that. But don't get pieces and then go away and then try to tell a story in the world that includes me, and it's inaccurate. So taxpayers ought to ask questions. I want them to. I invite them to. We have many parents here. I know I saw Ms. Fitzgerald, Rick, Max. People are here who know. And these are parents. of kids in our district. And they know the work we're doing. So it's not about Joe Davis. It's about doing what's right for children and making sure that the people in this community have confidence in our work, that trust what we do, and that we're spending every dollar well, because that's what we do. We spend every dollar well, and we're going to continue to do that for children.
Can I ask a quick question to the school board president real quick?
Sure.
I read your statement in the release this morning. I'm just wondering a similar question that I put to Dr. Davis. In your mind, is his credibility damaged to lead? Are you comfortable with him going forward? What's your true perspective in the wake of what's happened with all due respect?
We have absolute, or myself, and I'll speak for the board on this, we have absolute confidence in this man's ability and his integrity. This whole process was extremely frustrating for us. Dr. Davis was very honest and open with us. Shortly after he returned from North Carolina, we had a meeting. We knew all of these details from the very beginning. And it was very difficult for us not to go out to the community and be able to explain this to them. We just had to let the process play itself out, but we have no problems with him leading this school district.
Dr. Davis, could you elaborate on what you said about the audit, about how you said that everything was documented and the audit said that you didn't have receipts? Just what did you mean by it in that?
Yeah, so I'll give you as much as I can. And what I can tell you is that, I asked for information that was included in all the details around what happened in the audit, because I wanted to see myself, to come away with these findings, what did you examine? And I wanted to see that so that I could, see how you came to these conclusions. I got no information that documented anything, and I personally talked with some people who did the audit, if you will. One of the things the audit claimed is that whenever I went on a trip that it wasn't business related or that there was any documentation or prior approval. Absolutely false. And it baffles me how they could not have gotten that information. Every trip that I took, everything that I did, every dollar that was spent was well documented. Prior approval from the board president, who I said called me this morning, who would attest to that. And so if you have, as I said before, the correct information, and you're going to make an assessment, then get all the information and make an accurate one. So that's just part of many things that went on with that audit. Every receipt was there. I have copies of it now. I have emails of everything, so that if ever a question came up, I could support it. So that's what I'm saying when it comes to the audit itself, and that was mentioned in quite a few articles that I read most recently when all this came out in August. And so I want to say again, no money was misspent. I stand on that 100%, and I have documentation that backs me up. And so that's all I've ever asked anybody who's done anything is get the information and tell the truth.
What do you think motivated what you perceive to be the inaccuracy and incompleteness of the audit?
People's motive is something I can't judge. I see the outside. God sees the heart. And I'm not a judger.
Let's talk about the importance of those that are standing behind you, because they supported you from the beginning, and now we're at the end. Everything's been dropped, and they're still right here. What does that mean to you?
Love, in a word. Every person who's here. If you ever see the movie Baby Boss, there's a song that says, what the world needs now is love. And we're divided so much, largely because of race, black and white in particular. We're divided because of socioeconomic status. We're divided because of so many different things. But the truth is, we're more alike than we're different. And that's what we got to focus on as leaders in our community, is that we got to bring this world together and make sure that we work together to do the right thing by all people. It doesn't matter whether you're black or white, whether you're gay or straight, whether you're rich or poor. People are people. And what we have to do as human beings is treat people that way, handle people that way, so that we can educate children well. That is what's really important about the work we're doing in this community. One of the first things we did, my wife and I and my son, who's in school, I was going to bring him here, but he's in class, getting educated. But when we moved to Ferguson back in 2015, when all of what happened with Michael Brown, we came here, I applied because of that reason. We moved to Ferguson. We rented a house in Ferguson until we decided we would buy a house. We bought a house in Ferguson. My son goes to Ferguson-Florissant School District. My wife works in a different district. So listen, We're totally committed to this community, our community. We had a block party this past Sunday in our neighborhood. Amazing, great community. And so I can tell you that the folks who are behind me here and the folks in this larger community, we want what's best for kids. We want a great community. We want great schools. And that's what we're going to work to, is to make sure that, because when anybody moves to a community, what they want to know is how good are your schools. And we want to restore North County. We want to make sure North County becomes the best place in this country to educate a child, irrespective of their race, creed, or color. And that's what we're after. So I'm grateful to all the people who are standing with me today, those who couldn't be here but are here with me in spirit, folks in North Carolina and Washington County who have been 100% with me and behind me. I'm so grateful to them for the love, more than anything else, that they've shown me.
Superintendent Davis, what are the priorities in this moving forward now that you're back going again?
I wish I could share the true priorities, but I can't.
What do you see, as the priorities
Yeah.
academically for the district?
Yeah. So learning outcomes for children is part and parcel of the most important thing we can do for children, right? I mean, there are a lot of things that we do that will feed into that, but the most important thing is that we have to stay super focused on what's going on in the classroom, what's going on with teachers and students, how we support them, and how kids are attaining the kind of content they need, meeting the standards that they ought to meet so that they are ready for life. Nothing else should get in the way of that. Nothing should get in the way of educating all children well, and we have to make sure that that becomes a priority. But let me say it in a word, and I hope this message gets out there. In a word, reading. We want children reading like it's nobody's business. I don't know how else to say it. They need to be reading well, and I can tell you that I'm a math teacher by training. I'm a certified math. Students ought to be reading well, and that's what we've been pushing in our district, and we hope continue pushing that in our larger community, is that we want parents making reading a priority. We want our community to make reading a priority. I want Barnes & Noble and many other places to come to our community. We want this place to be a place of reading and education. All right, if there are no other questions, thank you so much for your time, and I really appreciate your support. Mr. Hampton?
Thank you, all of you who came to support Dr. Davis. That's huge. And thank you all for coming in and covering this story. It really is important that the people of this community trust the work that he's doing and trust the work that these folks are doing. And so we appreciate you helping tell that story. And as Dr. Davis said, especially in times like this, where the world looks at St. Louis as a fractured place, we're working to change that for all people. My assistant, Vicki Woody, has statements and releases for you if you haven't received one for her. But we thank you again for coming out today.